So here's a couple of pieces by Rav Asher Weiss as we prepare for Elul. Rosh Chodesh Elul is the end of next week already. So the first piece is Anila Dodi V'Dodi Li. So it says, Hein Yedua Masha Ramzu Hakadmonim Chodesh Elul Usiosav Anila Dodi V'Dodi Li. Says, we all we're all familiar with this remez, this ancient remez that the letters of Elul sort of correspond with the Rashi Tevos of Ani Ledodi V'Dodi Li, which is a pasuk in Shir Hashirim. So it says V'yesh b'dvarim chidush gadol, but there's something really profound about this. Halo yadua u'mekubo shechodesh Elul kol mahuso ve'inyano emas yom hadin, that the entirety of Chodesh Elul should be when Elul comes in, we should start to have this fear of the Yom Hadin that's arriving. Yira v'pachad, k'mo shekasav harambam perek gimel mehilchos Chanukah ein omrim halal b'Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. We know, from other places, but the Rambam as well, where he talks about the halachos of halal in Hilchos Chanukah. And he says that we don't say halal in Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. She'ein ela yamim shel simcha yisera ela shel eima v'yira b'pachad. Right? These aren't days of extra simcha, but they're days that have fear, in them. So min nagashkenaz mi'amas harishonim litko b'shofar b'chol boker mi'amei elo kedei la'orer es ha'am b'tshuva. And we as Ashkenazim, we blow the shofar every morning starting Rosh Chodesh Elul. V'halo hanavi tzavach v'yomer im yitoka shofar be'ir va'am lo yechradu. The Navi screams out, and Amos says, "Is it possible that we blow the shofar in the city and the people are not afraid?" A shofar married us meisre levavenu. It shakes up our kishkas. Umevi lidei yiras Hashem. It should bring us to yiras Hashem. Yumkein ma'inin posuk mishir hashirim shekol kulo ahava lechodesh elul shekol kulo yira. Seems like it's all about fear. What is this ani ledodi v'dodi li business all about? So af b'midas ha'ahava aleinu lischazek b'mei elul. So he says, but we do have this idea of midas ahava, and it should be strengthened in the days of Elul. Elul kasher Mishavim anu el Hashem abayim lachus b'tzokenufav mizmalim anu bi'ahava ubegaguim. That as we're doing tshuva, we should also be filled with love and with longing for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kasher miskarvim anu el avinu shebashamayim biyamim shebehem HaKadosh Baruch Hu miskarv eleinu. That when we become closer to our Father in the heavens in these days, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is also close to us. In the pasuk in Yeshayahu says that we should seek out Hashem when he is found. Karov biyoso karov elu asari yamim shebein Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, and these are the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Mizor banu hakasav ani kervas elokim litov v'hu she'amru. Sorry.
Hey, Tevos.
The Roshi Tevos Elohim Ani Ledodi V'Dodi Li. And this closeness that we feel is the Roshi Tevos of Elul, which is Ani Ledodi V'Dodi Li. The Kvar Kasav Rambam Perek Yud Halacha Gimel Mehelchos Tshuva Kol Shir Hashirim Mashal Hu Le'inin Hazeh. The Rambam explains that Shir Hashirim is a mashal to this connection, this relationship we have with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Dahainu li'avas Hashem shebelev Yisrael v'avas Hashem as Amo Yisrael. That the love for Hashem within the hearts of Israel, and the love of Hashem to His nation Israel. All of us can in these days that are days of Chesed and Rachamim, we can hear the voice of our beloved knocking. Bischali, please open the door for me. Anybody who's really listening and whose heart is sensitive to this. that at night we can we hear the voice of the neshama called the mamadaka, very thin voice. Lo kol anos gevurav, lo kol anos chalusha. This isn't a mighty voice. It's not even a weak voice. Ela kol dodi dofek pischili. But this is a voice of our beloved saying, knocking on the door and asking us to open it. V'ruzeh pela osa raya she'omeras al mishkavi balelus bikashti as she'ahava nafshi bikashti v'lo mitzasiv. But there's another pasuk in Shir Hashirim that seems to be a little bit that throws us off a bit. That it says that at night when I'm lying and I request the love of my soul, I'm looking for him, but I don't see him. I don't find him. Zu sheshoelas as a shomrim asovim beir as shoava nafshi risem, and we ask those who are guarding the surroundings and the people who are the shomrei of the ear, have you seen my beloved, the one I love? Have you seen him? Again, these are all psukim he's quoting from Shir Hashirim. Again, the same mashal of Am Yisrael looking for Hakadosh Baruch Hu after we've distanced ourselves from him. Vini bepesa pitom ani yeshna v'libi er kol dodi dofek pischli. But then it changes, and it says that that as I sleep and my heart awakens, and I hear the voice of my beloved knocking on the door and asking him to open it for me. So the relationship can change very quickly. So we see the psukim. B'makom larus beraglayim kalos kayelos hasodev liftoach lo shar v'delas mahi omeras sharadias kutanti echocha al bishena rachatzis ragli echocha etanfem. And we can, in the place where we should be getting up and running and going to a Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the pasuk says that I already took off my cloak. How can I put it back on? I've already washed my feet. How can I dirty them? Meaning that it's sort of this idea of laziness that I've distanced myself already from Hakadosh Baruch Hu. How can I now get back dressed and go out and meet him when I'm really not prepared? I really haven't been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It says, "Mashal hu inyan zeh aleinu v'al zarenu romos avas Hashem b'gronenu b'kashtis she'ava nafshi b'kashtiv v'lo mitzaziv." This is a mashal for all of us. Ach ka'asher Hakadosh Baruch Hu miskarav aleinu b'yoso karov ka'asher kol dodi dofek pischili pesach k'pischa shel machat. But at the same time, Hakadosh Baruch Hu wants to be close to us. And it says that or when it says that the voice of my beloved is knocking, all we have to do is open an opening that's just as like a hairbreadth, the size of the head of a needle. That's all we have to do. But atzlos and nefesh misgaberas aleinu. But the laziness sort of drives us. Maybe it's the yush. Whatever it is, but it drives us to say, no, I haven't been prepared up until now. I've been doing the wrong thing. It's too late. I'm not prepared for this. This is the time to really contemplate in Elul of how we can be better, how we can strengthen ourselves like a lion. The avodas habore. That we can do tshuva and reconnect with the Hakadosh Baruch Hu. So pasuk zeh mofia b'shir hashir mishnei nisuchim. Now, getting back to ani ledodi v'dodi li, it actually says it in two different psukim. It says beperik beis pasuk dazayin dodi li vani lo haroa b'shoshanim. But then in Perek Vav, Pasuk Gimel, it says, Ani ledodi v'dodi li haroa b'shoshanim. Right, very similar language, but is it the dodi to, dodi li, or is it v'ani or ani ledodi v'dodi li? Which one comes first? So Perek Beis mashma shekodem dodi li, that it's I am to my beloved. I'm sorry, dodi li, my beloved is to me, and then afterwards I am to him. Lohim Perek Vav Sham Kasuv Ani Ledodi v'Shuv Dodi Li. So which one comes first? To Kiyadua Shebekach Nechlaku Kuchabrichu Knesset Yisrael Kamasher Kasuv Be'echa Rabasi Amra Knesset Yisrael Lefnei Hakadosh Baruch Hu. So this is sort of an argument that the Medrash brings down between Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that Knesset Yisrael says, Ribbon Shalom, Shochahu, it's up to you. Hashivenu, return us. You have to initiate. Amar Lehem, Shochem Hu. No, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no, it's up to you. Shenem, Arshuva Elai, Va'ashuva Lechem. You return to me, and I will return to you. Amar Lefanav Shochahu, Shenemar Shuvenu Elokei Yishenu. We answer back, no, it's up to you. Lekach Ne'amar Hashivenu Hashem Elecha V'nashuva. And that's how it ends, that yes, indeed, Hashem will return to us, and then we will return. And Hashem will even though it's really should be up to us, but he'll even take that first step. So anu mitzapim mevakshim hashivenu Hashem elecha v'rak achakach mavtichim anu v'nashuva. It's only after Hashem returns to us that we promise that we will also return. Kodem dodi li v'shuv ani lo. First, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is for us, then we will be for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu omer shalchem hu. Shuvi elai v'ashuva aleichem kodem ani ledodi v'achakach dodi li aleinu lenatza tzayamim hanizgavim ha'ila liskar v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'oler halavavas b'derech shuva. Really, it's up to us in the time of Elul that we can return to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and reconnect. So Mashal Shemati B'Shem Hagon Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch Zatzal Hine Kosav Rashi V'Aseschem. This is it's a beautiful mashal, I have to say, that he brings down from Rav Hirsch. He says, and the pasuk in Shemo says this is in Parshas Yisro V'Aseschem al Kanfei Nisharim V'Avi Eschem Elai. I will lift you up on the wings of eagles, or whatever the proper bird is, right? And I'll bring you to me. Kinesher hanose gozlav al kanafav shakol sha'ar ha'ofos nosimis b'nehem bein ragleim. This is Rashi on the pasuk. He says that when the nesher puts its chicks, its babies, whatever the right word is for a nesher's, babies, on its wings, the rest of all of the other birds, everything else that flies, grabs them with its talons. That's how that would grab a bird, grab its babies with its talons. Because they're worried about other birds that are going to be flying above them. But the nesher isn't worried about other birds. It's a bird of prey that flies extremely high. It's worried about people. Shema Yizrog Bo Chitz. You're gonna shoot an arrow at the nesher. The Visha in of Porech al Gabav Lekach Noso al Kanafav. Therefore, it puts its babies on top of its wings. Omer Mutav Yikanes Hachitz B. It's better. The mother says it's better that the arrow goes into me v'lo and it doesn't strike my children that are on top of my wings. Afani asisi kain v'yasa malach elokim, and this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. So too, I will do, and you'll travel with my malach that will protect you. So this is the mashal that Rashi explains with this pasuk. So he says, "Emes." This is all still, I think, within Rav Hirsch. Emes he shegozli hanesher zochim berachim avagdolim lagana she'ein kedug masa. All right, this is this is a special type of relationship. This is a special type of situation of protecting its young muganim heim chalutim mechitzim listros, that it can protect, decisively protect against the catapults and the arrows. Hello, ein yagiu agav hanesher v'al milmala, because they can't, they wouldn't be able to reach above the nesher into its and what's on top of its wings. The nesher in zros aruchos lanicham al gabo. But here's the problem: is that I didn't say this right. However, the question is, how did the young actually get up on top of the eagle's wings in the first place? The nesher ein zeros aruchos lanicha malgabo. It's not like the nesher has arms that he can sort of put, pick up the bird, pick up these baby birds and put them on its back. So hanesher yachol lahanmich es atzmo liskarev legozlav. It can sort of lower itself down to its babies. Achagozim hein heim asher yitztarchu ledados letapes. But the babies are going to have to do the work. They're going to have to climb up onto the nesher's back, onto its wings. And once they're up there, and they're going to have to then cling on to the nesher so that they don't fall off when it's flying around, and they don't get, they don't end up falling down onto trees and stones and, and then getting damaged or killed that way. So it first says, Kam kach gam b'nei Yisrael. Amnam HaKadosh Baruch Hu yisa usenu al kanfei nesharim. Yeah, it's true. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us on the wings of eagles. Ach aleinu lihisramim kedei lezakus alos ve'afamishinala. But it's up to us to elevate ourselves. And to continue to elevate. But we have to put in a lot of effort into holding ourselves where we are so that we don't fall down. That's up to us. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I guess, can't do for us. Zehasman. So that's the mashal. So that's how Rav Hirsch explains the mashal. What is this mashal of the nesher? It's that we also have our own duty to perform. I think it's a beautiful insight into it. But he says, but this is Rav Asher Weissed then says, Zezman elu hayamim v'imlo achshav emasai. This is the time. If not now, when? Dorshu Hashem behimatzo karosa biyaso karov. This is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is close to us. Anila dodi v'dodi li. We are to our beloved, but our beloved is to us. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is knocking on the door and saying, please open it. So the Medrash in Shirashim Rabbah says that if we make a small opening, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will open it up big enough that carts can flow through. So he says, why carts, right? Agalos Kronos. He says, V'libi omerli, sha'agalos Kronos elu lo agalos reikos. HaKadosh Baruch Hu isn't saying that he's going to send empty carts, through our opening. He's saying, Elo meleim v'amusim b'chol tov sheba aloma shal yonim v'tachtonim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us a sign even in this medrash that he wants to give us everything. They're going to be laden with all kinds of good things. B'bnei chayim, zoni, b'brius, gufen ahara ma'aliyah. With what we need for parnasa, with health, everything else that we need, he wants to give to us. Im ach niftach b'libeinu pesach k'pischar shomachat v'noshuv el Hashem b'chol leiv v'nefesh. All we have to do is open that small opening. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu do the rest. That's his vort on Anila Dudi Vadodi Li. Okay.
We got to hang on.
What's that?
We have to hang on.
We have to hang on. We have to do our part. We have to exactly. That is our part in it. We have our own avoda. Okay, we'll see. We have 10 minutes. We'll see if we can get through L'David Hashem Ori Vishi. Hopefully, we'll try to get through most of this, or maybe we'll skip parts to get to the end. He says, "Zeh keshlosh meyoshana shenishtaresh minhag bekihilos rabos lomar b'chol yom v'yom merosh chodesh elo ad achar simchas Torah mizrach of Zayin mispar mesefer tehillim v'yesh la'ayim b'tam minhag zeh v'nyano." So why do he? He says it's been about a minhag for about 300 years or so that we say LeDavid from Rosh Chodesh all the way until Simchas Torah. So why is that? So Darshi Rishumas Matsu Remez B'Mizmar Zeli Me Elo. So there is a remez in this to Elo of the pasuk. This is Luleha Manti Leros Betuv Hashem Be'eretz Chayim Kavei El Hashem B'Chazak B'Mis Lebecha B'Kavei Hashem. Right, that's how it ends. So Lule Osios Elo Behepuch. So the word Lule is Elo spelled backwards. Okay, that's a little remez to Elo. Amdecha debiyamim hare goro eleb kasher hakol talui al kabos hamoznayim amelech b'mishpat yamid eretz v'hu asher mavir tzona techa shivto kevirkas roa edro ikar avoda basgula b'toch Hashem. He says in these days when we are getting ready for Yom Adin, the real avoda is bitachon in Hashem. V'alo kach amar Navi ichlu ma'adonim mishasu mamtikim al ta'atzevu chedvas Hashem hi me'uzechem. So Nehemiah says, and this is when they first came back from the Galus of Bavel, and they're rebuilding the base of Mikdash, and everybody was a little bit ignorant. They didn't even realize that today was Rosh Hashanah. And everybody's upset. We don't know the halachos. They're teaching, the Levim were teaching the Bnei Israel who returned all the laws of Rosh Hashanah. They didn't even know them, and so they were upset. And the Navi Nehemiah says, "It's Rosh Hashanah. Eat nice things, drink nice things, and don't be upset." That's not. This is a day of Yantiv. Why Chervas Hashem? That the love and the feelings toward Hakadosh Baruch Hu, that is what your strength is. V'kachas of atur b'reish halachos Rosh Hashanah isa b'menish min hagosh ha'olam adam sheyish lo din lo v'shchorim v'she'enu yodeh ein eich yotza dino. The Torah says in the normal and the regular courts amongst the non-Jews, you dress in black. You don't know how you're going to come out of the court case. Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? What's going to happen? We don't do that. We dress in white. We treat this like a yontif. We eat well and we drink well. Because we know Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to do a nace for us. L'sapar, l'kavez be'erev Rosh Hashanah. We get a haircut. We do our laundry before Rosh Hashanah. We put out nice food. So Perek Zeh sheb'Tehillim mistayim b'pazuk kavei Hashem chazak v'mitzibecha v'kavei Hashem v'ramur Chazal. Aber Rabbi Yitzchak hakol bekivoy. So there's a medrash that says the end of that pasuk says that we have to hope, we have to look towards our Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's the goal. And Rabbi Yitzchak says in Brishis Rabbah, everything is in kivo. Everything we have to look out to Hashem. Every time when we have Yisurim, when we're looking to Kedushas Hashem, Zechus Avos, Tavosur Shalom Abba, everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It starts out from pasuk, but we'll keep going. So Akol Bekivo Klomer Afilu Ein Ha'adam Kedai. It doesn't matter, even if we don't have all the right deeds, in our basket, we still have to have emunah bitachon, and we have kivui. We always look to our Kodesh Baruch Hu. For your salvation, we look to our Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's the pasuk in Vayechi. בימים שבהם נעמדים אנו לפני מלך המשפט לסחנים לבקש את נפשי בשילסי ועמי בקשסי, הוא שנושא לנו תקווה ושארית. הקדוש ברוך הוא gives us this hope. קווי השם חזק ומציבך וקווי אל השם. ובפסיכס פרק זה לדוד השם אורי ואישי. Hashem is my light and my savior. Amru Chazal, Orei b'Rosh Hashanah, Yishi b'Yom Kippurim. So here's another connection why we say this kapitel, that Ori is talking about Rosh Hashanah, Yishi is Yom Kippurim. It says v'tzarech bir b'kavanasam. What does that mean exactly? Yotzi b'zeh amru ki ata Hashem azartanu. Rosh Hashanah. We have another Maimer Chazal that when the pasuk says that Hashem is our help, that's Rosh Hashanah. Nechamtanu, when it's our nechama, that's Yom Kippurim. Ukvar pirush amud Hamusar, Hagod, Rabbi Yisrael Salantras at Sal. Delechora minadin hayalahakdim as Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter asks a question: why doesn't Yom Kippur come before Rosh Hashanah? It should. V'halo Yom Kippurim kitz mechila slichahu. That's when we get our full mechila and slichas on Yom Kippurim. And once we get through Yom Kippur, for sure we can get through Rosh Hashanah. Right? And we get the parnasa and everything else that we're judged on in Rosh Hashanah. That we would come out better if we already had Yom Kippurim and we were completely cleansed. right? Then you go into Rosh Hashanah and everything should be good. V'loma hekdima Torah Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim. So why is it the opposite? Ela shakadosh baruch hu yotzram hu yodei yitzram. Kadosh Baruch Hu understands us. Kihema basar v'dam. We're physical. V'krutzi achom b'yosem shekum b'chaye hayom yom. Lo yizoru karu b'yom kippurim. We can't just jump right into Yom Kippurim and be awakened properly into what is the what's the avod of the day. L'lo hachana ruya, without proper preparation. Ha'olam haruchani, olam hatshuva, haslicha v'kapara rochuk mitudatam v'terdemas hareglam, hergelam. That slicha and kapara, you can't just jump into that. Those are distant from us when we're so sort of sort of in our habits that we don't even realize. We're sort of in our, in our habits that we're almost asleep. And sometimes some of the things that we do all day, we don't even realize that we're doing them. That's what we fall into. So leficha hektim is Rosh Hashanah. So therefore, we have to go through Rosh Hashanah first. Yom shabo donim is kol echad v'echad. Then we are judged on Yom Kippur. On Rosh Hashanah. Al chayim, al parnasa, shefa, al brius, al guf. We are judged on what parnas we'll get for the year, on our health, etc. This should awaken us to tefillah tshuva. Shuv nasan l'Rosh Baruch Hu Yom Kippurim. Then after we do tshuva properly, then we have Yom Kippurim. And that should help us get to a right, to a proper conclusion, to a chasima that is for the best. That's why it says Hashem is our help. Rosh Hashanah is the help. It's the chachana. Of Yom Kippurim. V'chein bir amram ori b'Rosh Hashanah v'yisha b'Yom Kippurim. Rosh Hashanah hu or gadol hamer lanu as haderech leYom Kippurim. Right. Rosh Hashanah is simply the light that enlightens us to how to get through Yom Kippurim. So let's keep going with understanding more about how this parak of Tehillim connects. So Hine Amru Chazal de'en levakish rachim b'shat sara al shnei devarim shonim v'chein Amru Sham b'mei Reb Shoben bar Nachami hu kafna mosna. So this is the Gemara says that you can't daven for two different sorrows at the same time. You can only daven for one thing at a time. So there was a Maisa where there was both a magefa, some kind of a plague, but there was also a drought at the same time. So they're asking, what do we daven for? Which one? And Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani said, you daven for the drought first, because Hakadosh Baruch Hu is going to save us. He's only going to save people who are healthy, who are alive. So therefore, either this way the plague will get fixed as well, because Hakadosh Baruch Hu, if he answers our prayers about the drought, the plague will take care of itself. I just said that outside. So in Yom Adin, we come with so many things that we're asking for. Hello, bone anu tzrichim chay anu mevakshim azonu anu mischanenim ela shelako ela tzrichim anu rak letzurich echad lasos ritzon chabalevav shalem. Really, what we should be saying is sort of focus it down to the least common denominator, and that's to do HaKadosh Baruch Hu's will. This we can learn from David HaMelech when he says, Acha sha'alti meis Hashem osa vakesh shitri v'veis Hashem kol yemei chayei. What does it mean? Acha sha'alti, once I asked? That's what he's asking for. That's the one bakasha that he's asking for. Meaning David HaMelech is going to say that Acha sha'alti, famous question, Acha sha'alti is in the past. Shifti b'veis Hashem or Osa Avakesh is in the future. Osa Avakesh, I will request. That's in the future, right? Vakavana, we'll see if we can finish this last bit in the last minute. Vakavana bibir shinui zed ahine b'nohek sheba'olam harechayev shel adam mechulakim letufos shlovim shonim. Our life is has different stages that we go through, and the things that we desired as a young person are not the same, and the dreams that we had change over our lifetime, right? And a poor person's requests are not the same as a rich. We all come from a different angle. David Melech says, I started off as just a shepherd boy, and yet throughout my life, and I was running from Shaul, and I had all these sorrows, and I had nothing. Then I became king. But the entire time, it was always Acha Shalti. There was one request I had. It was always the same request all through my life, that I wanted to be connected to Akash Baruch Hu. He says that's really the derech that we should be taking, and that's another connection to this tekufa, is that Achash Alti, that's really the request we should have, and everything else will come out fine as long as that's really our base request, is to be with Akash Baruch Hu, to have that relationship with Akash Baruch Hu. So we'll stop here.